Red Voice News, splashing the check-in. Thank you for tuning in. And I want to talk about the Uber driver, Mohammad Anwar, who was killed in a fatal car accident just the other day in Washington, D.C. The Uber Eats driver. Okay. The way I found out about this story was I'm in a Telegram group, right? If you don't know what Telegram is, it's a messaging app. Okay. I'm in this group on Telegram, and a friend of mine, he uploaded this video. I didn't even know what it was at first because the story didn't go viral yet. And all I saw was this guy was hanging out of the driver door. The car was on, but it was parked. Okay. And he was, people were filming, and he said, "This is my car. This is my car." Saying, okay, they're trying to carjack me. Right. And all of a sudden, before that happened, you can clearly see in the video, there are two females with hoodies on, one in the passenger seat, one in the driver's seat. And the girl that's in the driver's seat smashes the gas, and he's still holding on. And the car just flies down the street, and it goes into the not oncoming traffic, but in the opposite lane, almost driving on the sidewalk. But there are bike stations, those metal bike stations. You just, you take a lock. If you have a bike, you just take a lock and you wrap it around the pole, okay, of the bike station. She hit two of them. The teenage driver, she hit two of them, and he's still hanging out of the door, okay, holding on. And the door slams into the bicycle racks hard, like pow, pow, like you can hear it. So obviously that, he got, I'm sure he felt that, how fast she was driving and how hard the door slammed into the bicycle racks. And then the person who was holding the phone, you can see that the car was trying to make a turn, a right, and lost control, flipped over, and you hear this loud crash, just loud boom, right? So the person that was holding the phone was just like, oh my God, so they run up the street, and you see the car is flipped over, and you see this gentleman here was lying face down on the sidewalk. Now, I didn't know, while looking at that video, I didn't know that he was dead or he was dying. I thought he was just injured because he was moving around a little bit, but he died due to his injuries because I saw him moving. Okay. And, I want to say, my heart goes out to the family. That's sad to hear. It's very tragic. The girls' ages 13 and 15 have been charged with felony murder and armed carjacking following the death of 66-year-old Mohammad Anwar. Okay. And I would like to know, what's going on in DC to where 13 and a 15-year-old would have to even think about carjacking somebody. Are there enough resources going to their particular neighborhood to where they don't have to do things like that, to where children don't have to do things like that? Last year in 2020, there were over 24 teenagers who were arrested for carjacking in the Washington, D.C. area. And, I'm looking at this like, what's the solution? They're going to jail. They're going to jail. And Anwar's relatives set up a GoFundMe to help his family. The page has already raised nearly $1 million as of Tuesday. Okay. But, it's sad that somebody lost their life behind this. You come over to America, you work hard to, I think it's from Pakistan. You work hard to bring your family over to a country you feel would benefit you financially. And, and that way you can support your family and put them through school, put your children through school, right? Give your family things that you did not have growing up. give your family a better life that you probably did not have growing up. And I know about moving over to another country, working hard to get that visa. You know, it's not easy, you know, only to lose your life in a car accident. That's very sad. But I want to say this to everybody that's listening out there. I want to tell you something. I want to tell you something that my father always told me growing up. He says, son, if somebody comes at you with a gun, if somebody wants your sneakers, if somebody wants your clothes, if somebody wants your jewelry, they say, give it up, just give it up. Those things you can replace. You file a police report, they might be able to get it back. If you can't, you just take a loss, but you can't get your life back. He always told me that. And in this situation, you know, I hate to say this. I mean, I'm speaking, I don't want to make light of the situation. I'm not trying to minimize the situation because somebody lost their life. But in a situation like this, if you're an Uber driver and you left your vehicle running and you see two kids jumping in your vehicle, wanting to take your vehicle, let it go. Let it go. Most of these newer models out here today, they have GPS, OnStar, whatever it is. They could easily trace your vehicle. You in DC. DC is not some huge city. The District of Columbia is only 177 square kilometers. Like they couldn't have gone that far. All right. And it was by like a naval base station, because once they flipped it over, there were military personnel that were right there outside helping the girls out. And it seemed like they didn't want to apprehend them. You know, and they were the thieves. All right. You know, there's a camera everywhere. There's a camera everywhere. All right. Call up the police station and say, hey, somebody took my vehicle. I saw the people that took my vehicle. The two girls, describe their race. This is what my car looks like. It's my license plate. Somebody would be on it right away. But in my mind, I think he did what a lot of, I don't want to say it. I think it was that ego, that level of ego. When people from the Asian, you know, the Asian community, when they feel like they're getting over, when a black person is trying to get over on them, they immediately resort to violence right away. Instead of calling the police, instead of saying like, okay, let me be smart about this. And, you know, there are cameras everywhere. So what they're doing is dumb and they're not going to get away with it. You know, they're not going to get too far. Okay. That ego just kicks in and they think, no, I got to whoop their ass, especially if it's a female. And I think that's what happened in this situation. Instead of just letting go, he was like, nah, I'm going to whoop these black girls' asses, because there's two of them. And, you know, unfortunately, it led to his demise. Sorry that, you know, this had to happen. And yeah, you've seen a lot of racist tweets online, a lot of racist comments, because, you know, the people that committed the crimes in this case were two African-American females. So there's a lot of racist comments online, but I'm sad to see this happen. We need to come up with a solution to get kids that are that young off the streets from feeling like they need to carjack somebody to prevent that from happening. Okay, because we don't want to lose any more lives out here because of that. And another thing is, if somebody wants to rob you of something, you know, they want to carjack you. They want you for your shoes. They want your shoes. They want your belt. They want your jewelry. They want your phone. Give it up. Just give it up. You can always get another one, especially a vehicle. You would have gotten in a city like Washington, D.C., if you'd have made a phone call, you would have gotten that back within an hour. Splash, man. I'm over and I'm out. Like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'm over and I'm out. Peace.